so glad you're with us. Joe Tessitore alongside Teddy Atlas, and we welcome you to the State Palace Theater, great venue here in New Orleans, for tonight's main event. 12 rounds of heavyweight action between these two great warriors.
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, the Hitman. And his opponents, fighting out of the blue corner,
All right, guys. Protect yourself at all times. You got that? All right, let's touch them up.
Round number one is now underway. All the talk is done. It is simply time to fight.
When we get matchups like this, guys that just won't quit, they'll be there every step of the way like Gaddy Warsh. Sometimes there comes a point where one fighter thinks he's got himself an advantage. He's done something great, but then the other fighter doesn't go away. How does that play out in the minds of each fighter?
Usually it doesn't affect the kind of guys you just mentioned, Gaddy and Ward. They're made how to cement these guys. They're already set in their ways. They know what they have to do. They're not going to get thrown off just because somebody's still there.
Good defensive skill. He comes back with the left hand again. Well, his opponent doesn't like that, but that's exactly what he was trying to do, just create some space there. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. Off to the side, a little swing and a miss going upstairs. What happened to the get to know you? They're getting to know each other real quick here.
Unbelievable. I feel like I'm at a fancy restaurant and we've already had 4 courses and the chef came out and said, hey, don't be full yet. You got 8 more to go.
Both these guys obviously hopeful that their cut men will be up to the task tonight. What does it take to be a great cut man?
And you know, that's a great question. First of all, you better have the right coagulants, the right chemicals, the right medications in that corner. Avatine, adrenaline, and you have to have Vaseline where you can put it on it. But the most important thing, you have to be calm. You can't panic. And you have to put pressure on that cut, just the right amount of pressure, and then you put those medicines in it, and then you better have a fighter that can give you a round or 2. He can move around and not get caught right away. Give the medicine a chance to work.
Double jab by the hitman. You see him holding on.
Hey, no holding, no holding. Come on, punch it out.
Final 10 seconds of round number 1. Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one. End of the round here. You can see the fans really enjoying themselves tonight. You know, Teddy, I think maybe more so than any other sport, boxing fans are not just passionate like in other sports, but they are smart and savvy. They know the game inside and out.
Well, they follow the contestants. They do understand the parameters of the game. And you know what? They come here and they kind of demand from those fighters the performance that they expect from them. They expect a guy to box. You hear them every once in a while saying, hey, come on, you know, let's get that jab working. They act like coaches sometimes.
Both men accurate with their hooks against each other. Protecting his head well with his guard. Another flush shot lands upstairs. He got hit, but he sends it right back. Now he's getting into a groove. You can tell he just landed a 3-punch combination. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. And a well-placed counter by Big. Big's got to cut around his eye, and that can be a real danger spot, threatening the outcome of this fight. Able to cover up that gut. Final 10 seconds of round number 2.
Hey, no holding, no holding. Come on, punch it out.
End of the round is upon us. And if the next round holds up like that, we're going to be in for a real treat.
No, we will be, because both these guys have the philosophy that their best defense is their offense.
Able to cover up along the belt line, blocks that one. Oh, and he's got something for him himself, and it's a left hand. Good scoring counter punch by the hitman. Good looking counter punch. Big's now got to deal with swelling. He gives as well as he takes. You saw it on that exchange.
Keep your head moving.
Good return fire that time. Nice block by Big. He's got to know that the eye's getting worse. Oh, and there you go. The hitman's in a bad place right now. He was tagged. Staying away from those headshots with his defense up top. So we come to the end of the round. And that was a round that was very productive for him. Now he heads back to his corner And they're going to try to repeat the success they just had, I'm sure.
Yes, he hurt his opponent there. He's going to want to go back to what he was doing and remember what set up those big shots.
Committing upstairs now. He goes there again. What a chin. Can you believe the shots this guy's absorbing?
And more importantly, can his opponent believe it? You know what? You want to hit a guy, so you figure that that's a good thing, that's an encouraging thing. This is a case where his opponent might get discouraged just by seeing his guy take those kind of shots.
One, two jabs. Keeps his hands up defensively, protecting the head. There he goes with the right hand again. Teddy, what advice do you give in a situation like this when you have a fighter who's clearly been hurt, who's just looking to hold on and buy himself some time?
Well, it's more than just advice. You know, I admonish him a little bit. I tell him, hey, listen, I don't want no excuses that he's tying you up. It takes two to tango. You don't have to get tied up if you don't let him. Don't let him. Take a little step back and create room and let those hands go.
He gets off with a combination up top. What do you think the right time is to stop a fight under circumstances like this? I mean, the swelling around the eye is getting really bad.
Well, part of it is he getting caught with punches clean that he wouldn't be getting caught with if the eye wasn't in that condition. That's where you start right there. Has his defense been impaired that much to that degree?
Dismisses his opponent's headshot. 10 seconds to go in the fourth.
Nice and relaxed. You're in control, all right? You got that? You're in control. So take your time. Get the compress on that. Keep your hands up, all right? You have to keep your hands up. You have to double the jab, all right? Look, he's timing you. Every time you come in, I want to see that double jab. Double jab right, okay?
Another round underway, but how many more will we see? You get the sense this fight could be heading towards a stoppage. Well, I don't know if he's hip to the idea of becoming a counterpuncher, but I get the sense you'd agree with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got the perfect platform, the perfect form for it. The guy's walking in right now, not moving his head much. He can time him, he can counter him.
Biggs just being smart on the outside. Punching there with the overhand right. It is unbelievable to sit back and just watch what these guys are willing to give and to take. Wow, what a fight so far.
Well, give and take, that's the key word. Sometimes you're forced to become great. And right now, each one of them are forcing the other to go to great places.
Halfway into round number 5 here. And that is some good job just striking his target twice in a row by Big. Boy, you gotta love being his opponent, right? You come into a fight like this tonight, you're so worried about getting off your punches, landing accurate punches. Well, here it is. Not going to move the head at all. Come and get it.
No, you just have to worry about you don't hurt your hands. You better hope that you wrap them real good because you're banging that nugget all night long.
What a fight. What a great, great, non-stop action fight this has been. Fine fundamentals, good counterpunch. Oh, good stuff there. 2 in a row by Big. Big's got a real acquired skill here, and that is the ability to pick your shots and land them.
So you hear the saying when people say, you know what time it is. You have to know what time it is. He knows what time it is. He knows when to throw a certain punch.
What a good war this has been. What a good, solid fight it's been. The kind of fight that tells me somebody wants to get rid of the other guy.
It almost looks like they made a deal where neither one could win by decision, where if they didn't win by knockout, it doesn't count.
Good defensive skill. There's another right hand. Teddy, is it possible that he didn't respect this fighter coming into the fight? Now, I know a lot of people would say, yeah, he's ahead on the scorecards, but you can just see the style of fight that this is, Ben. He's being tested.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of two things. This guy being better than his record would indicate, and what you touched on, that he's a human being like anybody else. We look at the guy's record, we think of what kind of fight it's going to be. He looked at it, he thought it was going to be a little easier than it's turning out.
Good scoring counterpunch by the hitman. Able to cover up that gut. They are bringing out the best in each other. I mean, you can just tell. Teddy, he is hurt. He just took a fusillade of punches there. What a barrage that was.
Give him credit, you know, he's not smothering himself. He's keeping himself at a distance where he can keep that offensive flow going.
It's been 2 minutes of non-stop action. Now the final minute has arrived. Big's doing a nice job being comfortable on the outside. Undoubtedly, the most effective element of his entire arsenal tonight is his jab. He's so committed to fighting on the outside, and he's jabbing away beautifully.
Well, Customano used to tell me, Teddy, when you're in doubt, jab. Well, this fighter, when he's been in doubt, he's jabbed. When he's been sure of himself, he's jabbed. As you said, he's made a jab fest of this all night long.
Holy cow! The Hitman's in a bad spot. Oh, this is going to be close. He may be able to survive the round, but he has gone down now. Up after that punch put him down on the canvas.
Now he needs to get on that bicycle and stay away from this guy.
Round comes to an end. We saw the knockdown there in that round, a little bit of a momentum gainer.
Yeah, obviously it gives you confidence, but you know what? It can also be a momentum killer, believe it or not.
How so?
Joe, I've had guys where the worst thing that happened to them in a fight was when they scored the knockdown because they thought it was just going to keep happening. And they thought about only the punch they landed, not how they set it up. So they got away from the game plan.
Oh! He is not in good shape. He could be on the deck in moments. Oh, that's good stuff. Firing right back with one of his own. Good work by Big. They both decide to bring it. Great fight. I mean, just a great fight. Both guys giving their all back and forth.
It doesn't get much better.
Looks like he has some blood under his eye around the cheek. Doubles up the jab. Now this is exactly what I love out of an offensive fighter, Teddy. A guy who's able to put together the multi-punch combinations and make it look like it's just the sweet science.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you can do when you have good fundamentals. Not just good physical ability. That's only part of the equation. But just good technical ability. And that's what he's doing. He's snapping his punches. They're nice and clean. They're crisp. They're short. They're together.
Right back to it upstairs. We got a fighter who was knocked down earlier, who, as you can see, is still going about his business the exact same way. Let's turn the tables a bit. If you're opposite that fighter, what do you want to do?
What you want to do is just keep going. And, hey, you know that old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Well, he's giving it to you. Keep taking it. Keep going to that well until there's no more water. If he's giving you an opportunity to catch you with the same thing, keep doing it.
10 seconds to go in the 7th. And now he's acting like a fighter. Coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. End of the round there. He was able to stun his opponent. Teddy, when you're training a guy that's coming off a round where he just got to his man, what do you do? Do you say, hey, I saw that and here's how you did it? How do you approach that?
Well, you want to make sure you remind them exactly what you're talking about, how he set it up. Don't think about just a big punch that landed. Remember how you got to that point.
Good job fighting from the outside. Good block there by the Hitman. The Hitman's offense has completely gone away here, it seems. He was hurt earlier, and now all he's doing is worried about what could be coming to get him again.
Yeah, he was on the highway earlier going about 90, and now all of a sudden he's taking those back roads going about 20. How long until the police catch up to him or his opponent pulls him over?
Targeting the hooks on each man. Able to counter that attack. The Hitman's just trying to push away. He wants to breathe a little. Reaching the halfway mark of this round. Good return fire that time. Blocks the headshot. And there he counters back against his opponent. The Hitman's trainer is telling him, hey, just stick with what you've been doing. Yeah, but what he was doing caused him to get rocked earlier.
Yeah, sometimes you have to make an adjustment. Now, they don't feel it's time yet, but that time's coming. It's coming quick.
Trading right hands. Boy, is this a dangerous biz. Last 10 seconds of the 8th round.
In and out, in and out.
End of the round here, a round that saw a lot of action. The kind of round that fans pay to be here to see.
Well, these are TV-friendly fighters, and we figured that coming in.
Now he's putting his punches together, the combination upstairs. He's got that quick trigger, that little double jab there. Boom, boom. Good looking counter punch. The Hitman's just making some room for himself here. Back to the head he goes. Oh, look at that. They exchange hooks. Keeping his hands up, getting rid of his opponent's offense. Now hugging on the inside. And that's what fighters do. Pulls the trigger right away after taking one. Game paying off. You can see the counter punch.
Yeah, you see the counter punch, but you know what I see? I see a little tentativeness now in him because he's afraid to let anything go because when he misses, bang, it gets caught.
What a great round. 2 minutes in, 60 seconds to go. Wow, just sit back and enjoy this one. You can tell both guys are so determined to give everything they have here tonight.
So it's like the first time you heard Ray Charles sing God Bless America. You knew it was special. You knew you hadn't heard it before. I haven't seen anything like this before.
And a good counter by Big. Acting like a fighter, coming back with the right hand after getting scored upon. And as this round comes to an end, Teddy, you just get the sense that at any point this fight could come to an end because it is being fought with bad intention.
Yes, these guys are not behaving like guys that are coming here thinking about going to the scorecards. They're letting everything go in every punch.
And he returns on that exchange. Solid counter punch by the Hitman. Teddy, I guess they wanted it. Look at this action going right out there, wasting no time.
No, these guys are impatient. They couldn't wait to get at each other.
right there by Big. Big's trying to create some space. You can see how he's going about it there. So swiftly able to turn defense into offense. Nice counter punch.
And what you're noticing here is his opponent is starting to be a little wary of letting his jab go, because every time he jabs, he gets caught.
He has reached that point in the fight where his only chance is to cash in and hit lotto here. He needs that grand slam, that big knockout punch, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he doesn't have a pen in his hand where he can fill out the numbers, but he does have a couple fists. And what he's going to have to do is find a specific place to aim a shot. Look for one moment, one spot.
He's bleeding from his cheek. Really on target there with a three-punch combination. Really wanted that uppercut, but just couldn't get it. One minute to go in a round that feels like an all-time classic. Punch for punch, they're meeting each other. See, the defense pays off as he gets rid of that downstairs. Right back to it upstairs. And he just holds on there.
Keep busy, guys. Come on now, keep busy.
He takes a shot and then commits to giving one right back. Good looking counter punch. And this round comes to an end. A round that was highly entertaining. They put forth a nonstop effort.
Well, that's the styles that they figured to bring to this fight. Both guys with good motors.
Good flush double jab by the hitman. And he returns on that exchange. Good defensive skill with the block by the hitman. Big's trying to create some space. You can see how he's going about it there. Well, that was his intention, and that's what he's doing, not engaging in the fight.
Keep busy, guys. Come on now, keep busy.
Again to the melon. Able to get away from that headshot with the block. Committed to the combination punching now. It's working out well up top. He missed with that headshot. Big's whiffing there. A big, wide, sweeping shot. I mean, perfect to counter against.
Yes, it is, and you know it's only a matter of time. You know, that goes into the old computer, the old plane, where the guy remembers that, and the next time he's going to capitalize on it.
What a fight. What a great, great, non-stop action fight this has been. Very nice job landing that counter punch. getting away from one that was coming at him. He scored well after being hit himself. Able to get rid of that one. End of the round here, and as I glance around ringside and look at the judges, I'm wondering what they're writing down, because that was a tough round to score.
Yeah, it was, and you know, it's the kind of round where one guy would be really smart to take a page out of the book of Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, where Leonard stole rounds at the end, where he just clipped off 30 seconds, and that's exactly what the judges remembered.
Well-placed right hands from both men. Blocks the headshot. The Hitman's night is now starting to snowball downhill on him. Things haven't been going well. He's taken some big shots, and he's behind on the scorecards.
Right now, he needs to look for a trick, a little bit of a spot. He's not going to win the fight with his jab. It's too late for that. He's not going to win it by putting punches together to the body on the inside. He needs to find a way to land a big shot, and I think it can happen. It can happen with a left hook when his opponent throws that uppercut. Maybe just time him and catch him with that perfect shot.
Well-placed counterpunch by the Hitman. Good block. It's been 2 minutes of non-stop action. Now the final minute has arrived. Not much action as he just ties up. Well done that time, landing the counterpunch. Now another left. Now that's some fine work right there by Big. Just missed scoring with that punch. For the official judges' scores, let's send it up to the ring. Big's your winner by a unanimous decision.
And that was a surprise right there. Coming into this fight, we thought we'd see maybe a knockout. But no, we wound up getting a strategic fight.
Good, enjoyable, entertaining fight it was. For Teddy Atlas, I'm Joe Tessitore saying thanks for being with us.